Hi, today is Sunday, March 28th, and I wanted to hop on and quickly share some thoughts on the scents that I've been warming this week from the Life's a Garden collection as well as the new Moana scent. So I've had a chance to warm all of these bars, and I did want to give some updated thoughts on performance as well as scent appeal. So I will go ahead and start with Moana Spirit of Motunui. Now when I first smelled this, I knew that it reminded me of something. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. And then I remembered that Hannah here on YouTube said it really reminded her of aloe vera and ivy. Allison had also commented that it reminded her of aloe vera and ivy, and I have to agree 100%. I think that it's the watery melon or watermelon scent that's in both of these scents that really makes them similar. Smelling them next to each other, I would say that I get a little bit more of that kind of sweet tropical watermelon from the Moana scent, where the aloe vera and ivy, I get a little bit more of kind of a musky, perfumey quality, but they really do share similar scent notes, and I think that they are both really pretty. I did have a chance to warm 4 cubes here in this room. For the first day, I thought it was really nice. It was probably about a medium strength, and it really did remind me of kind of a watery version of aloe vera and ivy, so not quite as intense as aloe vera and ivy. And I'd say for me, it really only lasted about a day and a half before it really started to take on kind of that stale note, and I was having a little bit of a hard time smelling it. So I really did enjoy it. I think if I had to choose between these two scents, I would go with aloe vera and ivy, just because it was a little bit stronger for me. It lasted a little bit longer, but they are both really similar. So I'd say that if you liked aloe vera and ivy, you should definitely give the Moana scent a try. And then let's move on to the Life's a Garden collection. So when I first smelled these, I kind of ranked them in order from my least favorite to my favorite, and I actually really did enjoy all of them on cold sniff. So I had originally said Lavender Violet was my least favorite, but I still enjoyed it. Chamomile Daisy was next. Strawberry Basil was after that. My second favorite was Apple Parsley, and then my favorite on cold was Pineapple Mint. So I did have a chance to warm all of them, and I'm just going to share my thoughts kind of in that order. So Lavender Violet, when I first smelled it, I think because it had that marshmallow note, it really did make me think of woolly slippers. Now I have woolly slippers here, and smelling them next to each other, I get a lot more marshmallow from woolly slippers. I would say that the Lavender Violet is about 75% lavender and then maybe about 25% marshmallow sweetness. The lavender is really similar to the lavender that is in French lavender. So I think if you like lavender scents and you like French lavender, this is a really good option. The hint of marshmallow does make it a little bit more unique, and I really enjoyed this. So I used this in our guest bedroom upstairs. I could really smell it the first day, and then at the end of the second day, it was probably ready to come out. I wrote that during the first hour it was warming, I definitely picked up more of kind of an herbal lavender than I did the marshmallow, but the marshmallow was still present. And then on day 2, I said that it smelled really sophisticated and it was just kind of sweet and herbal and comforting. So I actually really did enjoy this. I actually warmed it twice this past week up in our guest bedroom, and it was really nice. So Lavender Violet, I'd say about 75% French lavender, 25% woolly slippers. In terms of throw, I would say it was probably about a medium, maybe medium strong. I had it in our very small guest bedroom, so there it was definitely present. I don't know how it would hold up in a much larger space, like an open concept space, but I'd say in a bedroom or a bathroom or a laundry room, this would do really well. All right, and moving on, next is Chamomile Daisy. Now this is a very unique scent because I do pick up a lot of the tea note here, and I feel like Scentsy doesn't do a whole lot of true tea scents. So this is very, very pretty. It is a very herbal chamomile tea scent. I also pick up a little bit of kind of a honey sweetness, and I know that honey isn't listed in the scent description, but to me it smells more like honey sweetness than it does sugary sweetness or vanilla sweetness, but just a hint. And then I do pick up a lot of kind of a bright zesty lemon, as well as some soft kind of sweet florals in the background. So when I first smelled this, that tea note immediately made me think of Taste of Summer from the Find Your Happy collection. Now that I am smelling these next to each other, the tea note in Taste of Summer definitely smells more like an iced black tea to me, where the tea note in Chamomile Daisy smells more like that herbal chamomile tea, but they both definitely smell like tea. And then I get a lot more of that kind of bright, zesty lemon from Taste of Summer. And I also think that Taste of Summer is a lot stronger, a lot more potent than Chamomile Daisy. But Chamomile Daisy was really, really pretty. So I did warm 2 cubes up in my office, which is another kind of small bedroom. And the first day, it was actually quite strong. I could smell it out into the hallway. So I'd say it was definitely at least a medium strong in intensity. And I picked up a lot of the floral and tea notes, especially in the first few hours of warming. By the end of that first day, I was picking up a lot more of the lemon scents. And then by the next day, day 2, I could really only smell kind of a clean, zesty lemon. So I would say that the top notes of the kind of florals and the tea definitely died off a little bit more quickly, and then I was left with just kind of that lemon base. But it was very zesty and clean. It smelled sophisticated, and so I really did enjoy it. It was kind of energizing in my office, so I think that I will enjoy this one going forward in the spring and summer. And next up is Strawberry Basil. So I really did enjoy this one on cold. I'm not usually a huge fan of strawberry scents, but this is really pretty. Now it does smell pretty artificial to me. When I first smelled this, it immediately made me think of a hard strawberry candy. So like a hard strawberry lifesaver, or even like those little strawberry candies that are wrapped in foil to look like strawberries. That's what this smells like to me. So it is a really nice strawberry scent, very sweet and juicy, but I don't get any basil from it. I don't smell any basil on cold, and I was hoping that I would pick up a little bit more of that basil scent when it was warming, and I didn't. It was just a very nice kind of sweet, juicy, candy-like strawberry. So for a strawberry scent, I really did enjoy it, but I was hoping that I would get a little bit more basil out of it. So in terms of scent appeal, like I said, it is nice for a strawberry scent. I know a lot of people were hoping that it might be similar to Coastal Strawberry. I actually don't have a bar of Coastal Strawberry, but I did have a scent pack that I decided to go ahead and open. And to me, this smells a lot more kind of fresh and green, where the strawberry basil smells much more kind of sweet and candy-like. I don't know, Coastal Strawberry has always kind of reminded me of sea salt and avocado, or like kind of a fruity strawberry version of sea salt and avocado. So you'll have to let me know what you think, but I get a lot more of that kind of spa-like or vine-like greenness from Coastal Strawberry. I think of all of the strawberry scents that I have smelled from Scentsy, it's probably most similar to Strawberry Taffy. So like I said, a very kind of artificial candy-like strawberry, but pretty for a strawberry scent. One of my favorite scents from Scentsy is Simply Basil. I have a really old bar of it that I will probably never warm. This was one of the first scents that I fell in love with when I started warming Scentsy, and I love it. This is just a very fresh, clean herbal scent. It really does smell like basil. And this was one that I absolutely loved in my kitchen because I think it smells very fresh and clean, but it's not the typical kind of cleaner smell like lemon or orange. It's just very unique and clean and fresh. So I was really hoping to get some kind of note similar to Simply Basil in the strawberry basil, but unfortunately I didn't. So like I said, for a strawberry scent, it is really nice. I was just hoping to get a little bit more basil from it. In terms of performance, I was actually pretty impressed. So I warmed 2 cubes of this first in my office after I took Chamomile Daisy out, and then I ended up warming 2 more cubes down in our guest room downstairs. So during the first hour, I wrote that it was very sweet, kind of a summery strawberry, very juicy, a little perfumey. And I said that on day 1, it was about a medium strength. Now that was up in my office. When I warmed it downstairs in our guest bedroom, I could actually smell this kind of wafting down the hall. So I think it just kind of depends on the room that it's in, the warmer that you're using in terms of scent performance. So I would say it's probably about a medium strength. And then I could still smell it on day 2. I wrote that it was still present and very sweet. So this one actually was pretty good in terms of performance and longevity for me. All right, and next is apple parsley. So this was actually my husband's favorite from the collection. He asked me to save this bar to warm in the summer because he thought it smelled very kind of refreshing and summery. So I think that's probably what I'll do with the rest of this bar. But this was one that we both really liked on cold. When I first smelled it, I did pick up a lot of kind of a fresh, juicy apple peel scent. So it did remind me of that kind of apple peel note in Johnny Appleseed. But then on the bottom, I got a lot more of kind of a sweet pear, and then a really kind of fresh green, almost perfumey note. And when I first smelled it, it made me think of Rainfall and Lush Greens from the Mix It collection. Maybe not quite as aquatic, but there was just something about that kind of perfumey green note that really did make me think of Rainfall and Lush Greens. So we decided to warm 2 cubes of this in the bedroom, and I wrote down that during the first hour, we actually got a lot more of that green note than we did the apple pear note. And when it was warming, it actually smelled a lot like Flower Shop. So that kind of very, very green, like fresh cut stems smell. So we got a lot of that very green note, maybe mixed with a little bit of the perfumey, fresh quality from Rainfall and Lush Greens. And then after a few hours, we did pick up more of that kind of fruity note from the apple and pear. But this filled the whole bedroom. It was very strong, very present. On day 2, I wrote that it lost a lot of its oomph. So I feel like this is one that kind of comes out of the gate really strong and then dies off really quickly. I could still smell it if I got close to the warmer, but by the end of day 2, this one was definitely ready to come out. So this was a very kind of interesting combination of scents. I do get those fresh kind of apple and pear notes, but the green note in this actually makes it smell a little bit more kind of soapy and a little bit more perfumey to me than I was expecting it to. So this was really nice, and we are definitely looking forward to warming it this summer. Okay, and last is pineapple mint. Now this was actually my favorite on cold. This is the one that I was most excited to warm because I thought it was very unique. I really liked that kind of sweet, juicy pineapple note, but then there is just this little twist of kind of a fresh mint that did make it very unique and very interesting. So I was really, really excited to warm this one. let's first talk about the scent, and then I will move on to scent appeal while it was warming. So the pineapple that I get from this is pretty similar to the pineapple that's in Pineapple Pucker, but I found that it was actually more similar to the pineapple note that I picked up in Sparkling Sugar from the Fantasy Wax collection. It also reminded me a little bit of the pineapple that was in Pineapple en Fuego from last summer's summer collection. So that kind of fresh, sweet, juicy pineapple. And then the little twist of mint is really, really nice. It reminded me immediately of the mint note in Mojito Mambo. So like a fresh muddled spearmint, not like spearmint gum or like a mint cleaner, but just a fresh muddled mint. There's not a whole lot of mint on cold, but just a little twist to make it smell very kind of refreshing and light. So I was really excited to warm this. I first put 2 cubes of this in my bedroom, and that's probably where I went wrong with this, because to me this isn't really a bedroom scent. So I wrote that during the first hour that the pineapple note was very noticeable. It was refreshing and juicy. And then after a few hours, I'd say maybe after about 6 hours of warming, we got a lot less of that pineapple note, and then we got much more of the mint and kind of that herbal green note started to come through. It almost smelled kind of grassy, and my husband really didn't like it in the bedroom. And when I walked in, I noticed that it definitely kind of had this funk to it. It almost smelled, I hate to say rancid, but just kind of sour and green and not good. It really did kind of smell like grass, but not in a good way. So I decided to take it out of my bedroom warmer, and I wanted to try this in my open concept because I figured that's where I would probably like this scent the most, especially in the spring and summer. It would just be kind of a refreshing, kind of juicy, fruity scent. So I did put this in a few more warmers in my open concept area, and I felt like, again, the first few hours, this was really nice. It was just that kind of sweet, juicy pineapple, and it actually did pretty well in my open concept. I could definitely smell it when I put this in all of the warmers there. And then I went downstairs to work on a few things. And then after a few hours, when I came up, I was starting to pick up that kind of very sour, almost acrid green smell. So I think it was maybe the pineapple that wasn't mixing so well with that very herbal green note that just didn't do it for me. And that was so disappointing because I really like this one on cold, and I actually did enjoy it maybe the first like 6 or so hours that it was warming. But after that, this is one that I had to take out of my warmers. So I really, really liked it during the first few hours. And I'd say going forward, if I had another bar of this, I would just have to take it out maybe about halfway through the day. So I did end up taking this one out of my club, which was kind of a bummer. The only one that is left in my club for the time being is Apple Parsley, and my husband really did like that one, so I think that we will enjoy that one later this summer. So my favorite scents did end up changing after I had a chance to warm this collection. I ended up liking Lavender Violet and Strawberry Basil a lot more than I thought I would, and then liking Pineapple Mint a lot less than I thought I would. But I have to say, all in all, I really did like this collection. I would say in terms of packaging alone, this is probably my favorite collection that Scentsy has put out. I think the packaging is just beautiful, and I really, really do like the concept of this collection. The collection in the bag has sold out at this point, and then a lot of the individual bars have sold out as well. You can still add them to your Scentsy club. So I would love to know if you have gotten your hands on this collection. What do you think? What are your favorite bars? If you haven't had a chance to smell them yet, what are you most excited to try? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.